Wood River Health is my home for health.
Wood River Health is a one-stop shop for primary medical care, dental care, behavioral health, and social services. We care for the members of our community because they are our community. I'm Allison Crow, President and CEO of Wood River Health. Since 1976, our health center has provided high-quality, affordable health care to residents of Rhode Island and southeastern Connecticut. We are your neighborhood health center. Let us be your home for health.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. Very good.
Good afternoon and welcome to Man About Town. We are a production of 321 Media and we are broadcasting from beautiful and freaking hot downtown Westerly. Oh my God. Those meteorologists, to whom I give a lot of credit normally, said that we were going to have a break today. We didn't have a break today. I think today's the worst of the 3 days, but that's just me. But we're nice and cool here. We have our producer du jour, Andrew Fiore, once again.
I'm glad to be back.
Yeah, glad that we let you back, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
No, we had a lot of fun last week. We were at the Navigant Credit Union. We were doing a remote. Andrew did a terrific job. He met an old buddy of his from 4 or 5 years ago when he did his senior project at the Mystic Luxury Cinemas, and we had a great time. We always do when we're there. We have new people today. We don't have return guests. And if they're good, they get to come back. Let's see how I can. My dad was born in Warsaw, so I don't think I'm going to mess this up too bad. Ken Chrotowski?
Very good.
Okay. Don't ask me to say anything in Polish. The words I know we can't do on the air. And we have Frank Jensen, and they are both with the Westerly Pawcatuck Antique Auto Club. And on my right, we have Derin Temel. He is with the Rotary Club of Westerly. And we're all here to talk about an event that is happening on Saturday when it will be cooler. I have been checking. The weather is definitely going to break tonight, and we're going to have a cool weekend, maybe a little rain, but that never hurts anything. And if you love cars, you're going to love this because it is the second annual car show. It's going to benefit, let's see if I get this right, benefits two organizations, the Honor Flight and
Johnny
Cake Center, right. How could I forget those guys?
Right.
This will be at the General Stanton Inn in Charlestown, and you don't have to know anything about cars. I am your perfect example. I love to go to car shows. If I see one and I'm driving, and now there's one every Friday night in Ashaway, right at the Baptist Church. I know right where to go. I saw that. I love to walk around, especially, and these guys will probably laugh, but we'll talk to them about it. It's one thing to look at how beautiful the cars are. Not a scratch, shiny. But when some of them show off by opening the hood, and inside their car, that doesn't look like what's inside my car when you lift the hood. They are, I mean, you could eat in there. They are absolutely gorgeous. So let's get started with, either one of you can answer. I want to know, how did you get interested in antique cars? Little boys growing up or big boys growing up?
Wow. In 1951, my parents built a little cottage on the Cape. And this was before the highways. And we were in Chicopee, which is Western Mass. So we would come down to Providence, get on Route 6, go up to the Cape. It was a long drive. And one Friday when we were going down there, my dad spotted a Model A Ford in a used car lot. So he stopped, he made a deal. On the way back home on Sunday night, we picked up the car. And that was the first time we had a second car in the family.
Oh, that was so. He doesn't take a long time to make up his mind, did he?
No, he went right for it. So I grew up with the Model A Ford in the family, and learned to drive on it on the Cape, and there was no one around. I mean, I was driving around before
They
I
weren't
had a
a
license.
well, a
So-
lot of kids did back then,
Yeah.
but they weren't afraid to have you driving such a gorgeous, expensive.
Well, this was not a show car.
Oh,
Okay. So when I got to be 16 and wanted a car, I think my parents didn't want me to kill myself in a 57 Chevy. So my dad offered to go halfway on buying a Model A Ford. So for $600, 300 from each of
Oh.
us, we bought a Model A.
no, wait a minute. You
I
said you were 16?
was 16.
16-year-old guys, when they get cars, they get these beat up looking, disgusting, and you got a Model
I
A.
got a Model A. It was restored by a homeowner. It wasn't professionally restored. The paint job wasn't particularly
But
nice,
nobody
it
else
ran.
in your friend group
It ran.
had
So-
one.
So I rode that car pretty hard through high school and college, and afterwards, my kids did a pretty good job on it. And around 2000, we restored it, and my son has it now. So
Wow.
that's how I get involved in cars. And
So
my
it was, what year was it? A
that was a
57?
1934.
Ooh.
Convertible with a rumble seat.
Wow.
So
So it's interesting when your dad bought that, it was only 22 years old. It wasn't that
It wasn't
old.
that old.
And when you
Antique, right?
When you restored it, it was 66 years old.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So my dad ended up getting into Model Ts.
Mhm.
So he had two 1915 Model Ts, and there was a Western Mass Model T club that my parents were active in. And later on, my dad had a 55 T-Bird, an old T-Bird. He had a Woody station wagon. And
Oh my God, I
when he
remember
got a little
those.
older, he decided he was going to thin the cars out. So he told my sister and I that he would continue to store one car for each of us. And at the time, he also had I think it was a 1935 Ford Roadster. It had a flathead V8 engine.
So he really had the bug.
He was into cars.
Mm.
So I was tempted by that flathead V8 Roadster, but my wife and I had courted in the Model A, and we had it in the family for a long time. So I got the Model A, and then I had a chance to buy a 1936 Ford Roadster with a flathead V8 from a friend, and I always felt like if I had another chance to get a flathead V8 Ford, I would get one. So that's what we have now. It's a 36. It's got a motor from a 1949, and it's got a rumble seat. And it's other than being a newer motor.
But that's
it's
not
it's
your
stock.
that's not your everyday go to
No,
stop and shop
no,
car.
No, we drive it a fair bit in the summertime. Ken and a few other folks from the car club. Last fall, we drove it up to Old Orchard Beach in Maine,
Wow.
and
That's a bit of a
at
ride.
the end of that weekend, my wife and I went further north to visit some friends and visit my sister. We put 700 miles out that weekend on that old car.
That's amazing.
How fast can you go?
It's quite happy at 50 to 55.
Oh, I
You
wouldn't
get to
be.
60 to 65, it feels a little slow.
No, I'm starting to get a little joyous at about 75 or 80.
Yeah, and, you don't want to outdrive the brakes.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
that's my car.
All right,
Goes
so
way
let's
back.
find out how Ken got started.
Well, then I think you'd be happier driving faster in a car like mine. I have a 1965 Chevelle.
Ah,
And when it was new,
we had a Chevy
a
Chevelle.
Chevy
My
Chevelle,
dad had
when it
one.
was new, it had a little 6-cylinder in it. And today it has a 454 cubic inch engine in it. It's called a big block. And it likes to go fast. It's noisy. And my wife says, "Where are those air muffs? If we're going up to Maine, I want earplugs or muffs because it's loud."
Is it?
Yes, it is.
Wow.
And I've been into this car hobby for about 5 years.
Oh, so you're brand new to this.
I'm new. Yes, I am. I'm new to it. A number of people on the street where I live in Charlestown have cars. They have some old 1936 Fords, and they have a variety of others. And sitting around with them on the decks during the summer nights, I was asked, why don't I get a car and join them on their cruises and to the car shows that they go to in New York and Maine.
But from what I understand, you can belong to this club without owning a car.
Absolutely.
That's correct.
But it's more fun to have one.
Oh,
Right.
sure. And brag and show it off. And
So there was a
I don't
neighbor
race them.
right across the street. The car I drive today, I found it in a garage right across the street.
wow.
And we moved it from that garage into my shed, and that's where it resides today.
So tell us about, if people are interested, and we'll get back to what's happening on Saturday, but if they're interested in the club, if they want to come and take a look and maybe not join right away, but just take a look and see what's involved, where do you meet? When do you meet?
We meet, our club meets regularly once a month. I believe it's the last Tuesday of every month, with the exception of maybe December and January. We meet at the Westerly Senior Center.
Oh, that's a good central location.
It's a good central location given our membership. The club used to meet in Stonington when there was a predominance of Connecticut members, but we have a mixed membership, about 70 members today.
Do you really?
Well, and it's been
Wow.
growing. It's been growing. In
How
leaps
many
and bounds.
actually come to meetings though?
At least 20, 15 to 20 members
Oh, I
every,
think that's
every
very
month
good.
come. And we have guests. We had a meeting last night. We had a guest and a new member showed up. So it was a bonus to have a guest and
Do
a
you
new
have
member show up.
like a guest speaker?
Sometimes we do. 3 or 4 months of the year, we have guest speakers. They might talk about car care. We had a guest speaker from the saltwater winery in Connecticut.
Oh yeah,
He
you
was
had
fun.
Greg.
We did.
Yeah.
We had the
He brought
sommelier.
wine.
Yes.
We had the sommelier.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
there were a few people that did not want to partake. That left more for those of us who
Right.
enjoy wine.
Yeah.
And so we do have some
Greg does a
speakers.
very good job. He came to our Rotary Club,
He did a great
and
job.
he
With
He-
wine in hand.
yes, he did.
Yes.
Yeah, that's great. So it's not always about cars.
No, it's not. But that's what brings us together.
Yeah.
We have a common interest, the antique cars.
So if I came, for example, I don't know antique car. Well, the only one I do know was the one my dad had that I loved, the Chevy Bel Air in the mid 50s, and like all of them turquoise and white. So
Absolutely.
I can spot those every time I go to a car show. I know what that is. But would I be lost or would I be intrigued?
Well, do you like
I mean,
refreshments, pastries? There's always something to eat
Potato
and drink
chips.
at the end of our
Potato
meeting.
chips would be good. Yeah. I just think it's so great to see them, to walk around. I mean, people put a lot of time and, let's face it, a lot of money in the upkeep of these cars.
It's an alternative to having a boat.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a wide variety of what people do with their cars. A lot of us like to drive them. And so we don't want them to be show quality because you got to worry about them too much.
Right.
But if you want to restore it so it looks like it just came out of the dealer, you can do that. And the national organization has car shows where it's competitively judged to very exacting standards and everything in between. So
Where are they out of, the national?
that's located in Hershey, Pennsylvania,
Oh, yeah.
which is where they have those huge flea markets.
Mm.
They have AACA has something a little under 400 chapters, and they're in multiple countries.
That's what you are. I'm looking at your
We're a
hat.
regional chapter.
Okay.
Yeah, we're one of the regions. And as Frank points out, there's almost 400 of them in this country
400.
alone. Something like 135,000 members worldwide. There's a
Huge number.
big.
Having just, and I do mean just, like within 48 hours ago, changed my insurance on my home and on my car, I'm very well aware of pricing and the applications. And one of the questions was, do you have a vintage automobile? I would assume that you pay a lot more than I'm paying for the Nissan out there.
Actually pay a lot less. In
Less?
order, in
'Cause
order to
you
ensure, there's companies.
Drive it
that-
less?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
That's why.
There's companies that specialize in classic car insurance.
Oh, really?
And you have to have a normal car registered in the same state you want to register your antique. So they're not first in line on liability.
Mhm.
But it's quite inexpensive. My car is, I don't know, $250 or $300 a year. But you're not using it year round. You're not putting any miles. that many
250
miles
or
on it.
3. Sounds like a
So-
month
so-
for me.
Yeah.
It's very
Yeah.
inexpensive.
That's
Wow. So, how many cars do you have at your home and at your home? Counting vintage cars, you each have one?
Yes.
Okay.
I have one. I have room for one. I'm
Okay.
thinking about building another shed. Maybe I can get a second one, but I can only drive one at a time.
Yeah.
And we have members though that
Have 3, 4, 5.
Oh, yeah.
pride themselves in a handful of cars, and the decisions there are difficult.
The late Merrill Moon had
Yes.
a bunch of them.
Yes,
Yeah.
he did. Our past
Yes.
president and our
Yeah.
current president, Andy Clapham. He
Yes.
Yes, several.
has several.
There was somebody who invited me to. I was very into classic cars when I was in middle school, and there was a shed down by Alley Cats that had them, like a big garage, and there were like 15, 20 of them in there, mostly 30s. I'm not sure. I can't remember his name, but they invited me to go look, and it was incredible. And my favorite, like you were saying, those 50s Bel Airs,
Yeah.
are always my favorite.
With the long
tail
wings.
fins.
Yes.
There's a lot of 55 to 57 Chevys that are being
Yeah.
restored.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
I've
I
seen
don't
a
know-
lot on the
I don't know
road.
where Alley Cats is, but
Alley Cats, by the way, for those of you who are across the country or in England listening to us, it's a bowling alley. It's not a bunch of cats that happen to be out in the middle of an
that's gotta
alley.
Be a guy by the name of Jim Romanella. He has a building that he put up to store his store and work on his cars. And he had, I would say, at least half a dozen beautiful Model A Fords that won national prizes. And he has sold a few of those, but he also has a couple of mid-60s Ford convertibles that are show quality.
When you win a national prize, is it a trophy or is it cash?
I don't know if there's cash, but there is definitely a trophy. And there's
Yeah.
different levels.
Yeah, I'm
You
sure.
can win a junior trophy, and then you can win a senior trophy, and then there's a best in the country thing.
Oh.
It gets really
Talking about
well,
locations too, I know that there's that Auto Vault. Now, do they have classic cars there? I think you had been there. That's the one in the industrial park.
Westerly
Oh,
Auto.
Yeah,
yeah,
Westerly
yeah.
Auto Club.
well. That's a car storage and service
Okay.
where it's a beautiful building. I think it was the data center building for Washington Trust.
Mhm.
They've got 50 car elevators in there, so you can park one up top and one underneath, so they can store 100 cars in there. It's spotless, and if you want them to detail your car or get it ready to go for a trip, and then just come back at the end of the day and give them the key, they'll take care of the whole
I
thing.
remember you telling me about it, and I was there. It's right next to Hauser Chocolates for local folks.
Okay.
And I was stunned at the appearance of the building
It's
itself.
beautiful.
It
It's a
is
beautiful
gorgeous.
building. They're just getting started. I think they just opened less than a year ago.
It's a concierge service.
That's the
Mhm.
word.
If you come into town to vacation, maybe you want to go to Block Island and spend a week, but your car.
Well, they're right near the airport
They're right
there.
near the airport,
So-
convenient. You call them and you tell them what car you have and where it's stored, and they'll have it ready for you when you get off the plane.
Wow.
You just,
They're one of our
Drive
primary
up and-
sponsors for Car Show.
Aha.
yeah.
Could you move your mic in just a hair?
Okay, so now
better?
we keep saying car show, car show, car show. Let's go to Derin first. We'll go to the non-car guy.
So you're talking about classic
First.
cars. All I could think of is my first car, the 1973 Chevy Vega, which is probably a
Oh.
classic by
It
now.
is a
But it was
How did it even run? They were not great
Oh
cars.
my goodness. That's as close as I ever got to a classic car.
Okay, so tell us what's happening Saturday. how much, if there is a cost, and again, where it is and all the details.
I'm going to get into, first of all, the genesis of this partnership, which was we referenced Andy Clapham, who's the current president of the car club. He had been talking to me about this for quite a while.
Yeah, way back last year.
And he said, would this be a good partnership with the car club? Would Rotary Club work well? And would this be something we'd be interested in? And I brought it to the board, and I had a chance to meet Frank and Ken. And we talked about proceeds and charitable donations. And this is when the honor flight came into play. And I had mentioned that we have a member who is a veteran, and we have supported, our club has supported the honor flight for many years.
Yes.
So we thought it was a perfect marriage. And at that point, we were all in to help out with parking, with selling raffle tickets.
And Charahoe Rotary is part of this as well.
And
are they not?
I reached out to, and again, last year was our first year. So I reached out to Charahoe because the event takes place in their footprint.
Yes. In fact, they meet there now.
Right.
That is where that club meets,
Right.
at the General Stanton.
So, everything is very homespun in this neck of the woods. So we know everybody at Charahoe, and they know us, and it was an easy sell. And they joined in and sent down quite a few members, and collectively we took care of the parking, we took care of the raffle. We were on call to do whatever, watch gates, make sure the traffic flow was good. In appreciation, the car club made a very sizable donation. I think in total, it was the good part of $3,000 last year between Johnny Cake Center and the honor flight.
That's great.
Which was
so
fantastic.
It was. I knew it was the honor flight last year. It was also Johnny Cake too.
Yeah, what we did is we took the proceeds from the 50-50 raffle, and we split that, and Charahoe and Westerly Rotary clubs each made a donation. And then the car club cut a check for each organization to donate to the honor flight. So
what a great thing. I mean, if it were me, well, it is me because I am scheduled to work. But if I were listening to this, I would want to go, yes, I want to see the cars, but isn't it nice that these organizations are going to benefit from it?
That's it. And
it's a win-win. It really is.
Absolutely.
You just have a good time. You really do have a good time. And there are going to be food trucks as well, are there not?
There are going to, let the gentleman speak to this.
Well, we have one food truck. The General Stanton Inn provides food at this event. And they allowed us to bring a truck last year, an ice cream truck. Ice cream and root beer floats, one of my favorites. But not to interfere with their opportunities to make a sale.
Sure.
We're limited to one. It's not really a food truck, but it's a drink and ice cream truck. And we're doing that again this year.
Okay.
In addition, we have craft vendors.
That I remember. Under the tent.
Under the tent, we try to sign up a dozen, 15 or more vendors. We don't like to have too many, then it gets too crowded.
Yeah, you don't want to take away from why they're coming. They're coming for the cars.
A car show.
Right.
But it's sometimes difficult to get our wives and girlfriends to go to a car show. So we have the vendors, and they can shop. Pottery and soap and trinkets and homemade goods and wreaths. And we have a variety of craft vendors that are coming back from last year and some new ones this year.
Good.
That kind of
That's
rounds
very
it out. But we're trying to make this more of a community event than just a car show. And we're having some success at that. This year, we have the local fire department, Charlestown Volunteer Fire Department, agreeing to park an engine outside the General Stanton Inn, and they're going to run a recruitment desk at one of the booths this year.
Again, a win-win.
A win-win for everyone.
Yeah.
And Derin, you mentioned the Rhode Island Honor Flight Hub. This year, I've been in contact with George Farrell.
Mm-hmm.
He's a past Providence fire chief and one of the founders of the Rhode Island Flight Hub here in Rhode Island. We've been talking.
Been on the show a couple of
Has
times
he?
too.
Yeah.
He's planning to come down for a couple hours this Saturday,
Wonderful.
and I would be honored to have him there because they're our primary recipient of proceeds from the show. He might bring along the retired Westerly chief. I forgot his name.
David Sales.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
it's rounding out things a little bit.
You probably met her last year, but the veteran that Derin referred to in the club, Dora, went on the first female honor flight, and she's still talking about it. And that was about a year and a half ago.
She's very helpful last year, and she's helping us out again this year.
It's
That's-
And she told us about that.
Yeah.
yes.
There's a fun story too. I do want to, just for clarification, we're going to have root beer floats and ice cream, but there will be food. There are hamburgers and hot dogs. There is a full concession that's set up. So if you come down and want to spend the afternoon,
That
is
General
great.
Stanton's
At General
doing.
Stanton. We
And
have
they've got a bar inside
Well,
for
and-
people who want to
and the
drink.
setup is right outside near where the cars are set up. So you
Right.
don't have to go into the inside to be able to purchase a burger. There's a small annex outside that's set up for all the snacks and food you'd want for lunch.
We're going to be taking a break in about a minute and a half. But in the meantime, somebody fill my minute and a half or 2 minutes and give us a little more information. Is there a cost to the people who come for the car
No
show?
charge to come in and enjoy the show itself.
So
as a
where does
spectator.
No
where
charge
does the
for
money
parking
come
or-
from? The raffle?
Participants.
Participants.
People that enter their car in the show.
Right. I know. Well, I know that.
That and our sponsors.
Okay. But you also have raffles. I can remember
Yes,
that
we
from
do.
last year.
That's
So
correct.
that money also goes toward all into one pot,
Yep,
so
that's
to
right.
speak.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, that it's such a nice way to. We didn't mention hours. Is it 9 to 2? Am I right?
9 to
Nine to
2.
two.
Vendors will come early, 7:30 to 8:30 to set up.
I remember last year because I was parking some of them, telling them where they were to park on the side and all that. But yeah, but the public should not come until about 9:15, 9 o'clock.
9, 10 o'clock. Most of the cars are in by 10, 10:30. We're usually full with the car participants.
Okay.
And they come from far away.
Yeah. People love car shows. They
They
really
do.
do. And when we get back from our break, we're going to tell you more about the car show and more about the Westerly Pawcatuck Antique Auto Club. Thank you, members Ken and Frank, and Derin. I'm sure will put in a good plug for the Westerly Rotary Club.
But I will.
So we will be back. You're listening to Man About Town. We are streaming worldwide and live from 321 Media in downtown Westerly, and we'll be right back.
Experience local excellence with Roof Right Roofing in Charlestown, Rhode Island. With over 40 years of unmatched expertise, Roof Right specializes in architectural shingles and holds the prestigious title of GAF Master Elite Installers. Known for their commitment to the community and support for local initiatives, Roof Right is your trusted partner for all of your home's roofing needs. Call today for a free estimate at 401-212-4140.
What's going on, everybody? It's Patrick down here at the Wireless Zone at Dunn's Corners at 224 Post Road, and everybody down here is getting the brand new iPhone 16. We have it here in stock. The best part is right now, if you trade in your old phone, you get it for free. We got deals all weekend, awesome savings. Come on down and see us, 224 Post Road, Dunn's Corners, Verizon Wireless Zone. We'll see you soon.
D&V Mechanical specializes in the installation, maintenance, and servicing of Mitsubishi ductless mini-split heat pump systems. We are certified by Mitsubishi as Diamond Elite Contractors and factory trained and up to date on the proper procedure of the installation and service of Mitsubishi ductless heating and air conditioning ductless heat pumps. We assist with the paperwork to reduce much of the stress-related documentation required to get the state rebates and federal tax incentives. We are not a jack-of-all-trades, master-of-nothing company. We are masters of ductless heat pumps. It's what we do, and it's what we know.
Hi, this is Dan from Lathrop Insurance. In this challenging insurance environment, Lathrop Insurance can be your beacon in the storm to help you find the coverage you need at the right price. Now, more than ever, you need a partner in the insurance industry that can work with multiple carriers to make sure you have the right coverage at the right price. Lathrop Insurance carries home, auto, and business insurance and can be reached at 401-596-2525. We've been supporting the local community since 1939, and we look forward to working with you.
Moving doesn't have to be stressful. Whether it's across town or just across the hall, no job is too big or too small for Easy Does It Moving and More. Sean and his team put people first, making your move safe, smooth, and stress-free from start to finish. For a move made simple, go with the name that says it all. Easy Does It Moving and More. Call us today at 401-545-6078 or go to easydoesitmoving.com.
Are you looking for a fresh cut and wet?
Hi, I'm AJ Truck.
And I'm Jeff Swiderski with AnnieMac Home Mortgage's Momentum Group, your trusted partner in the home buying process.
At AnnieMac, we can strengthen your offer with our innovative program, Cash to Keys, giving you a competitive edge by allowing you to make a cash offer on your new home.
Together, we've helped over 1,000 families move into their dream homes, and we'd love to do the same for you.
Give us a call today at 401-486-0853 to get started.
I am Jim Howe. My practice is focused on representing people injured in car accidents, representing people injured in premises liability, represent people in all walks of life. I say all the time that I represent the underdog, and by the underdog I mean the person who is injured and is facing lawyers that are hired by insurance companies. If you unfortunately find yourself injured in an automobile collision or in any other circumstance where insurance may come into play, think of giving me a call.
Town, although now there we are. I was looking, I saw a big black screen. This is Man About Town, coming to you from Westerly, Rhode Island. We are a production of 321 Media, and we're live right now. We are live in downtown Westerly with Ken Chrotowski, Frank Jensen, Derin Temel, and we're talking all things car show and fun. And again, we said it at the end, Derin, it is free to you to come in and bring the family. Kids are allowed, right?
Absolutely.
No climbing on the cars or in the cars. What about, because people will do it, are they allowed to bring a dog on a leash, or is that a no-no?
Good question. Last year, we talked about this prior to announcing the show, and we didn't want dogs there.
I would think it should be no unless it's a service dog, a real service dog.
Right. I think the biggest threat is some of these cars, the paint jobs. If a dog is with the owner and they get close, and then they want to get up and they want to look inside and see how nice the upholstery is, they might leave their nail prints there.
Yes.
So I would caution anyone that is planning to bring a dog to the show. At a minimum, they should be on a leash.
Right.
because there
And
are,
really, with all the people and all the cars that you're saying are going to be there, it's probably not a good idea. You also don't want a dog to walk over and lift his leg on a tire because that would not be good. But it could very well happen. It very well
we
could.
feel a little differently about cats, though.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you got 3 cat people here. I don't know about Frank, but
Well,
you
we
got
got guilty
3
as
cat
charged.
people here. But I can tell you that, and I have said this, and it's completely off the subject, that we have had in the past 7 cats, not all at once, all female, and they were very nice house guests. Then we get a male. And we've always had scratch pads because that's what you do when you have a cat.
Yes.
All those females took to it. They were wonderful. This cat looks at the scratch pad. He wants the Cardi Brothers merchandise. And for those of you who are not in town, Cardi Brothers, they have the biggest furniture operator in Massachusetts and Rhode Island. That's all he wants. He'll hop over the scratch pad to get to the couch. So yeah, it wouldn't be a good idea. Please leave your animals at home, please.
So if you bring your cat to the show, the male, we need to have a couch there for him.
Yes. Yeah, I can't bring him anywhere out of the house. He doesn't travel. He's part Siamese and very loud. Very, very loud. Okay, so
I'm ambivalent about cats, but they seem to like me. So.
Oh, it's always they'll pick the one person they're right in their lap.
Yeah,
right there. All right, moving back to cars. How many are signed up thus far? I imagine you have pre-registration of your cars that come in.
Not this year.
No?
Not this year.
So you have no idea how many cars are going to be shown?
Last year, we were hoping for 80 to 100 cars. We parked 130 cars last year.
Wow.
And we took pre-registrations. We were told you might get 10% of the cars that are coming to pre-register. And it's a lot of paperwork, honestly. So we went without the pre-registration this year, found some extra parking spaces, and we're hoping to park about 150 this year. We don't like turning them away.
I know.
Last year we had to turn half a dozen cars away, and they didn't like that. We didn't like that, but we didn't know where to put them. Our message to them this year is to
get there early.
Come early.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, I can't understand if someone wants to show their car, why they would come right at the last minute. I would think they'd want to come early, get a really nice spot, and set up and relax and dust it.
Most of them do. It's kind of a tsunami once the gates open.
Yeah.
But there's always some people that come a little late. And, people generally don't register because they want to make sure it's a nice day.
And it's good to note too that the location, the venue is perfect. We have ample parking for spectators, so we didn't have any issue with that last year as far as being able to accommodate everybody who wanted to come to the show. So know that if you pull in, we're going to find you a spot to park.
Absolutely.
And we're going to give you a good time.
And you're definitely going to have a good time.
So there's no charge as a spectator to park or get in the show, but you get to vote for the top 10 cars.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
And when do you do that? Right at the end at 2:00?
When people come in this year, as they come up the hill to come into the show, they're going to get a ballot.
Okay.
Last year they had to go to the registration desk, but we want as many of them to participate as we can, so they'll get a ballot on their way into the show. And Cruising Bruce is our entertainment.
That's right.
And he's good at keeping people aware of, get your ballot in by such a time.
Good.
Because we have to count them and then be able to make awards at the end.
Do you have any kind of I don't know, you probably don't have the room for it, but a desk that would be run by people from your antique car club for people who want information about meetings, who might want to sign up, because why not use that opportunity to say, what is it, second Tuesday or last Tuesday
Our
of every
club
month?
meetings are the last Tuesday of
Last
the month.
Tuesday.
Yep. And we do plan on having a registration table where people will register their cars when they join us Saturday. They'll drop off their ballots if they're voting. The public is voting and the car participants. They'll drop off their top 5 picks at the car show.
Do
cars
the
they like
ballots
the-
have a place for them to put their email address or their phone number?
Not the ballots, but those who register for the show. Yes, they do.
Mhm.
We gather that information.
Because it's a built-in mailing list or
Absolutely.
email list.
Absolutely. We have a desk for raffles. In addition to the 50-50 raffle that the Rotary Club will be conducting, we have we have a half a dozen or 8 raffle items
Right.
that you can buy raffle tickets for, and you don't have to be present to win. We collect their name and phone number, and we'll call and say, "You won. Take me to dinner with you." And
Is that what you say, Ken?
well, if I get the chance.
I mean, you're one of those. You're that guy, right? And they might say, "Okay, but we're going in your car."
Yes.
Right.
And we have a table, a membership table. We offer the same to the Rotary to put out our brochures and pamphlets to attract new members. That's one
And
of the
I
reasons we're
can
doing
guarantee you they will. And probably we're selling bricks, memorial bricks and commemorative bricks. So I'm sure there'll be a sign about that.
We're gonna talk about all the initiatives that the Rotary Club is involved
Sure.
in, and all of the projects that we support as well.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, it's you're getting a great audience. I'm just thinking to myself, if someone has never been, why not go? If you're looking to do something on a weekend, and maybe you're not a beach person, or maybe it won't be beach weather, it is going to get cooler, or you don't want the crowds and the parking tickets at the beach, you want to do something different this Saturday, you got a perfect place to
You
go.
can go shopping.
Yeah.
You can buy some stuff for the house.
You can have a root beer float with Ken.
Have a root beer float, or you can look at cars, 100 plus cars, antique cars. Class
And I would
one.
imagine people ask questions, right, of the owners.
They do, and the owners love that.
Yeah.
There's no reason not to. I mean, you don't like you were saying earlier, you don't have to know about cars to enjoy it. I was doing it in middle school, didn't know anything about how an engine works, still really don't, but they're just cool to look at, really. And
They are. They really are.
if you appreciate history, which I do, it's just fascinating to see the differences in the cars without the seatbelts or just the different interiors, and the quality that used to be put into every car is just amazing.
When you hear those engines too, when you hear those engines roar, it is something else.
Unless his wife is saying, no, it's too loud.
Well, we had, a little aside here. We talked about Dora, who is the veteran who's a member of our Rotary Club.
Yes.
And she was very excited. And when we first brought her in to meet Frank and Ken, I can't remember which one of you said, "Do you have a favorite car that you like?" And it was Frank. And she said,
She probably said an army tank.
She said, "I love Cobras."
Yeah.
So towards the end of the show last year, Dora had been collecting all the money for our 50-50 raffle.
I remember that.
We had collected quite a bit of money. And I see this Cobra pulling out, and who's in the passenger seat but Dora. And she said, "I'll be back in a minute." And I said, "Dora, where's the cash from the 50-50 raffle?" And she goes, "Back at the tent."
Yeah.
And away she went.
Yeah.
So these guys were terrific about delivering on a promise.
My neighbor, 3 doors down, was his Cobra. So we talked to him before he came into the show. Would he get a ride for someone?
Okay, here's an ignorant question then. Who made the Cobra? Or was that the I mean, I know like Chevy, Olds, Buick.
Ford was Carroll Shelby made the Cobra with Ford running gear and a Lotus chassis in England.
Okay.
And it was so popular. They made them for a short period of time. It was very popular, became a thing. And,
So
and
why
now
was
there's
it-
kit cars. You can buy a kit car
And make your own.
Make your own Cobra.
So why was it only a short time if it was so popular?
Well, it was a radical car. It's a race car with a race car engine that you can drive on the street. And a lot of them got crashed. It's a very fast automobile. A lot of power and a lightweight body.
I'm sure there will be turquoise and white Bel Airs. At least one.
There's always at least one.
They're always. I don't think I've ever been to a car show.
Last year, we had the oldest car we had was a 1919 Model T. And we had the whole gamut from there to about a 2-year-old Aston Martin. So we had street rods and hot rods and muscle cars and classic cars. It's a wide variety. So if someone comes to the show, they'll be able to see automotive history over a long span of time.
So for reference historically, you're talking car from during the influenza pandemic to a car after the COVID pandemic. If you want to look at it in those terms.
Andrew said he's a history buff, so yeah. Wow.
Can we mention the sponsors that you have this year?
Yeah.
I think they have been instrumental in getting us going.
Well,
They're, if you want to be able to get a picture of this up close.
Yeah, I can hold it up closer for you.
That's the top 10 award that will be given to
Oh,
the
good,
top 10
Andrew.
cars that the spectators vote on.
I'm blocking out Rona there, but we're trying.
That's
here.
You
the
can block
sponsors-
me out.
The sponsors, our main sponsors, are the Westerly Car Club in Vault, Ocean House Marina, Valvoline Instant Oil Change. They're right here in Westerly. Chrotowski Auto Body Works is in Charlestown. Stonewall Insurance, they specialize in antique car insurance. And Valenti Subaru.
Bruce.
Bruce.
The other
We'll have
Bruce.
a-
The
we'll
other
have a
Bruce
new
and
Subaru
Bruce.
on display.
Very good.
You know.
That was a really good thought. We have about 10 minutes left. You tell me, do you want to talk more? I mean, we will wrap it up in about 5 minutes. We're going to wrap it up by talking about the show again, repeating everything again.
Okay.
Do you have a website for your antique auto club?
We do. It's maybe you want to put this on the video screen.
The WPRAACA, the Westerly Pawcatuck region.
Actually, you can
Of
put it
the
right on the computer, can't you? On the
Antique
crawl.
Automobile
No, I mean
Club.
on the crawl, you can type it in, right?
Oh, really?
Yes. I know I've seen Ben do that when we have people.
And we now
Okay.
have a Facebook page. If you go on Facebook
Ah.
and search WPRAACA,
You're saying that really fast. WP.
WPRAACA.
Okay.
You search on Facebook, you'll see our page.
I'm almost there.
And that's new. We've had our website for many years, many decades. Our club was founded back in 1965. We received a charter from the AACA, that's the Antique Automobile Club of America. They granted us a charter in 1966. So the club has been around for quite a while. The club, as a matter of fact, used to have car shows back in the 1980s.
I was going to say, this can't be your first rodeo.
No, but it's been the second one coming up since 1986. 1986, I believe, was the last time the club had a car show. The car shows were held, I believe, in Groton or Pawcatuck. Someone would have to research.
In
our
Connecticut.
name. Yes, in Connecticut. And one of our founding fathers lives out in Show Low, Arizona today. His name is Malcolm Stinson. And we just recently communicated with him. We redesigned and changed our hat. We redesigned the logo and so forth. And we sent him one. And he responded back that, boy, when I opened my mail the other day, I couldn't believe what I saw.
That's
You
great.
guys are still alive and well, and thank you for thinking of
Well,
me.
you could say the same thing to him. You're still alive,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
But you know, when you mention Arizona, I met one of our Rotary members the other day. I met with him to give him a book, Joe Potter, who spends his winters in Arizona, but he's from here. And he pulled in, we were meeting in Bradford. He pulled into this parking space and I didn't know what he drove. And I'm looking at this nice black car and the windows were up and I couldn't see in. And he said, "Oh, this is my Arizona car." He said, "When you live in Arizona, you've got to get blacked out windows because of the heat," which now makes me wonder about how did the vintage car people do it out there? It's got to be bad for the paint. I mean, it gets to 120 degrees in the summer.
There's no salt though.
Yeah.
And
no sand.
And not a lot of rain. So cars evidently last pretty well out there.
Huh.
How they deal with the heat, I don't know. But
Yeah, I wondered about that in listening to you speak, because I could not tell who was in that car. I was doing this and he got out and he was laughing. He said, "Yeah, those are my blackout windows." Yeah. Okay, so to be a member of the Antique Auto Club, the Westerly Pawcatuck chapter, you don't have to have a car. You have to be interested, curious.
Yes.
Age limit?
None.
So
junior members are welcome. Junior members.
You could have somebody from high school who doesn't have a license yet.
Absolutely.
And I bet there are some.
There's a special lower price junior membership.
Okay.
And there's also a membership plan at the national level for veterans. They get their first year free.
Oh, that's nice.
So if you join our club, you also join the national club. And the national club does several things for us. They have a research library. So if you're trying to figure something out that's in great detail, and they also put out a beautiful magazine.
Andrew, you want to hold that magazine up? That looks like a beautiful magazine.
Every 2 months, we get a nice magazine, and it always has some technical articles. The senior editor lives up.
Beautiful
in
car on the
Connecticut.
back.
Yeah. They have a wonderful support staff. When we tell them we want to throw a show, they have a lot of help and advice, brochures, manuals, contacts.
And they're out of Pennsylvania.
They're out of Pennsylvania.
Hershey, Pennsylvania.
They help us with the website.
That's
Very good
nice.
Group. Very nice group.
Very good group.
So you have to pay, I would imagine, a portion of the dues to them, right? Every member's
To
dues.
be a member of our club, the Westerly Pawcatuck Club, it requires membership in the AACA. We have members that yesterday a member joined. He's already a member of AACA, and he bought a vacation home out here and was looking for a local club. We get the referral because we're the local region, and he joined our club.
Great.
So
Is he coming Saturday?
I believe he is. He has a 1958 Corvette.
Ooh.
Beautiful
Nice.
Oh, I think Pastor Lord would be very happy to hear
think
that.
he would. Yeah.
Wow. You know Cal Lord at the Baptist
Yes.
Church. They just had a car show on Father's Day.
We were there in force.
And he said he was shocked. He's always shocked. He said they had 145 cars this year.
Our club made it a monthly event to go there. Each month our club picks at least 2 events to participate in.
How nice
And
that
that
you
was
sponsored him.
Pastor Lord, he got our attention.
I remember when
this
he
month.
first started it, I think he had 7 cars in the parking lot and a few people that came from church. And now he's all the way into where the Masons meet, I think. And I mean, it goes all the way.
I think he's a Camaro guy, isn't he? Doesn't he have a Camaro?
Or Mustang.
Oh, Mustang.
Mustang. That's right. I always think he's Corvette, but it is Mustang. Yeah, bright red Mustang.
It was a great show.
Yeah. Well, now I drive by that one on Friday night in Ashaway, and it's small, and that's at a Baptist church there.
Yeah.
It looked small. I couldn't really stop. I had people behind me, but it didn't look like there were a lot of cars, but were getting a lot of people last Friday night.
That's a cruise night.
Right.
I think every day of the week there's a cruise somewhere, more than one.
Usually at restaurants.
Yes,
parking
usually.
lots.
Well, because people like to get together in the waning hours of the day, 4 o'clock, 4 to 7, someplace they can go and get a slice of pizza or a hot dog and sit and talk about their hobby.
Yep.
So they're cruises, as opposed to a car show where it's a special event.
There's another thing on the scene also called Cars and Coffee. It's something that starts early in the morning, 7:30 or 8 o'clock in the morning. It's over by noon, and there'll be a coffee supply and donuts, and people just get together and talk about their cars a little bit.
Well,
Learn from each other, you know.
Derin, I think in our waning couple of minutes, you should wrap it up with all the details again, and let's get people out this Saturday.
Absolutely. So it is this our second annual South County Car Show is going to be at the General Stanton Inn this coming Saturday, 9 o'clock. Come by. We're going to be there till 2. Awards will be at 3 o'clock. We're going to have a 50-50 raffle. We are going to be using some of the proceeds from this event to support the honor flight. We will also be using some of the proceeds from the 50-50 raffle to go towards the Johnny Cake Center here in Westerly.
And what is the price for spectators?
Rona, I'm glad you asked. It is free.
Completely free.
Not a penny for spectators.
Not even to park.
Come. We will park you for free. You can go and enjoy the amazing cars that'll be on display. You'll have a chance to vote for Best in Show.
Top 10.
Top 10. Cruisin' Bruce is going to be there. And if you're a car person, you're going to know who Cruisin' Bruce is. He's very entertaining, and he is going to be the MC of this incredible event. I also want to put in a plug for the Westerly Rotary Club and the Charahoe Rotary Club. We are going to be supporting this event with boots on the ground to help in the parking, to be able to do the raffle. We will have information for both clubs and the projects we're involved in. We are incredibly grateful to be able to partner with Frank and Ken and the Car Club. I think this will be a long-standing partnership as we move forward.
We're looking forward to that, Derin.
And you are always welcome back here. Again, Ken and Frank and Derin, thank you so much. We're going to be taking a short break because we have to switch up our next hour. We have a lovely young lady out there from the Ocean Community Chamber who's got the next hour. So we're going to kick you to the curb.
Well, we're going to go.
Opportunity.
Thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
this opportunity.
You are always welcome. When you have other events, we may not be able to give you an hour, but we'll always give you a microphone, a voice, and time.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
321 Media.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. And now we are going to go to break, and then we will be back with Grace Lund, the events director from the Chamber.
Let's all go to the beach. I want to go to the beach. Cold weather sucks, let's get some relief. I'm telling you it's well within our reach. Take me to the beach today.
Hey, Scenicorn fans, ready to rep your Norwich Scenicorns? Dive into the point-of-sale team store. From hats and jerseys to gear that covers every base. Show your Scenicorn spirit and style. From ballpark essentials to unique souvenirs, there's something for every fan in the pod. Stop by during any home game or shop anytime at cunicorns.milbstore.com. That's cunicorns.milbstore.com. The point-of-sale team store has you covered all season long.
Hi, I'm Chris Kozłowski, owner of Broadview Florist and Garden Center in Dunn's Corners. For over 40 years, our family-owned business has been your go-to destination for beautiful, custom-made floral arrangements. Whether it's a special event or just to brighten up your day, we create highest quality designs tailored just for you. Trust Broadview Florists to make every moment unforgettable. Visit us today or give us a call at 401-322-0390.
Ever thought about leveling up your fitness game in a fun and meaningful way? Kiefer's Martial Arts on Granite Street has everything you're looking for. Kickboxing, Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and of course, adult karate. It's not just about getting fit, It's about building your self-confidence, discipline, and that unstoppable feeling you get from all your hard work. Stop into Kiefer's Martial Arts today to sign up.
Hi, I'm
I am Jim Howe. My practice is focused on representing people injured in car accidents, representing people injured in premises liability, represent people in all walks of life. I say all the time that I represent the underdog, and by the underdog I mean the person who is injured and is facing lawyers that are hired by insurance companies. If you unfortunately find yourself injured in an automobile collision or in any other circumstance where insurance may come into play, think of giving me a call.
And I don't. There's the face.
I'm still learning this. I'm getting it. I'm getting it slowly.
Oh, Andrew, you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Welcome back, everybody, or welcome in if you're just joining us. This is Man About Town, our second hour, and we are coming to you live from downtown Westerly. We are a production of 321 Media. And we got rid of all the car guys. Although I love listening to them talk about, I love looking at those cars.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Andrew said he's the same. You don't really understand all about cars, but they're great to look at. So we are back now, not with Lisa Kanicki, because she is busy doing an event for the Chamber in Mystic. But we are with Grace Lund, and I put down events director. That's not right, is it? The title.
It's the events and office manager.
Oh, you also got an office manager?
Mhm.
That means you clean the bathroom and
No,
hand
thank
paper
God,
clips.
no. But yes, all the other stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you've been there now, what, 3 years?
Yeah, this is going on 4 now.
Wow. Doing such a cool job. You really
Yeah,
are.
thank you.
And every time you're here, like when Lisa's here, like when Maria's been here, nobody ever says, well, it's a quiet time for the Chamber.
Yeah,
This
no.
chamber is amazing. It used to be the Westerly Chamber. The reason it is the Ocean Community Chamber is because it includes right over there.
Mhm.
I always get up and point for those people that are at home and can see. If you go across where the blue car is, you're in Connecticut. So we become the Ocean Community Chamber, and we serve a bunch of communities in Stonington. What's coming up? I know there's you're going to set the water on fire soon.
Yeah, that's in a couple weeks. Honestly, we just wrapped our spring season. So yeah, now we're going into summer, so it is busy, but I would say it's definitely like a little bit of a breath compared to the last like 12 weeks.
Well, you did just have 2 extremely busy Sunday Fun Days.
Yeah,
right
we
down
had 3.
there.
We had 3 this season.
Oh, 3.
I missed 2 of them because I was sick, but I was at the last one. And they're always a good turnout. It's a good way to get out of your house, especially on days when it's not as nice.
Right.
So
that's what Lisa was saying.
It's less of a
She
beach
said,
day. Yeah.
when it's a beach day, it's kind of slow.
Mhm.
I've been there when it's been a beautiful day and it's slow.
Yeah.
But when it's overcast or cool, you guys do really well with
we
the
do
event.
really well there because it gives you something to do on that weather.
Hey,
but yeah,
Grace.
they were great. And then
Hey, Grace. What did we talk about before the show, Grace?
to eat your mic.
Move the mic closer to you. Come on now.
Oh my God.
I would have been nicer about it, but
Just
that's
came
just
out of
me.
nowhere. My God.
Yeah, that did come out of nowhere.
I am always watching.
Hate that.
Also, Grace, tell them about your new podcast called Grace Lunch. Bye.
You have a
No,
new-
I don't have a new podcast. Ben mistyped my last name today. And that's how we got there. But
okay. That was a little scary. It scared me.
He told me that
Yeah.
was coming, and it still scared me somehow.
Spooky. But yeah, coming up, we've got lots on the way. The most, like, the one coming up now is at Stonington Vineyards. They have a summer concert series that
Yes,
they
they
host
do.
all summer. And on July 4th, we are the organization they picked to donate some of the proceeds to. So I think it's like
Great.
10% of the parking is going to come to us. They've got a live band. You're invited to like bring lawn chairs, blankets, your own food. Obviously, like they don't want you bringing outside alcohol because they want you to buy wine.
Yeah, obviously.
But that is coming up, and we are very excited for that. They're a great partner. They're under new ownership now.
Yes.
So we're very grateful that they've decided to do this again. We just had a ribbon cutting there last week, 2 weeks ago, a tri-chamber one, and it had
Yeah,
like, a
they've
huge
done a
attendance.
really beautiful job. They've done a lot of remodeling on the inside.
Yeah, I haven't been out there yet. I missed that one, but I'm excited to see how it works for this summer.
Great.
After that, I brought notes today. We are still continuing with our Dorigo professional development. And so that's been, I think, like a 6 or 7 week course that we're hosting on Tuesdays.
Explain for people who don't
yeah.
know or don't get the email.
Yeah, so it's been a professional development course. Each month there's been a different topic. The one that's coming up on the 15th, July 15th, is embracing a strengths-based culture. So it's just an opportunity to leverage your strength as an individual or in teams. It's really just career development, personal development, and we're hosting them at the chamber. So they are free for members. Like I said, they're Tuesday. It's July 15th from 12 to 1:30. We provide a pizza lunch. And if you want to join, you can register at oceanchamber.org.
And if you're a member, there's no charge.
There's no charge.
Is there, I had a question. I didn't want to interrupt you when you were talking. How many weeks does this go? You said it's been going about 5 or 6 weeks.
It started in April. I think the last one is in September or October.
Oh, so it's pretty well going right through the summer.
Yeah, so it's only once a month. But like I said, it's a different topic each week. I don't think you've had to go to the previous ones to go to the next. I think it's helpful, but it's not required.
Oh, I know what I was going to ask. How has the turnout been?
It's been pretty good. We had to cancel this past one in June. June is like a tough month, I think, for a lot of people to come to stuff. But we have it scheduled for July, and then I think they're going to reschedule that June date for maybe October. That's why I don't know when the exact month it ends is, but they've just postponed it.
But if you're a chamber member, you're getting every Friday, you're getting an email, and you get some during the week as well.
Yeah, so I mean, this is in our e-blast every Friday, along with all of our other information. If you're interested in getting that every Friday around like 3:00,
Right.
you can email myself or just the office. The best email is office@oceanchamber.org, and I can get you subscribed to that so that you're receiving everything that we have going on.
And it will say what the topic is?
Yep, it'll say what the topic is. And then that e-blast also promotes our members as well. So it's not just our information, it's other stuff in the area.
Good.
Yeah.
Very good.
It's a nice benefit.
Yes.
What else
What's
is
next?
coming up?
You got a big list.
I
there.
do.
That's okay.
You know, summer, it slows down. We've got a lot like a bigger stuff coming up. So right now, over the last 2 months, we have been hosting our 50 under 50, which is a way to kind of recognize anyone that's under the age of 50 as either a business leader or a community leader in this community. We're almost wrapped with posting them. I know Ben's got a couple more interviews to happen, but we have been, pretty consistently posting these people every day. Part of winning this honor is we're hosting a kind of celebration event. And it's on Tuesday, July 22nd from 5 to 7 p.m. at Saltwater Farm Vineyards. So they are all covered, but it's $25 a ticket. It includes a drink ticket, appetizers, and then we're going to have live music as well. So
and
that
this is, you said Tuesday?
Tuesday, July 22nd from 5 to 7 at Saltwater Farm, which is over right outside the borough.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we were talking about Saltwater Farm during the last hour because they were talking about having Greg come to their car meetings, their antique car meetings.
Oh,
and
okay.
he did a sommelier presentation for them on the wines.
Very cool.
So, in other words, you don't have to be under 50 to come, but you have to have $25.
Yes, but it is, yeah, it is $25 a ticket. And yeah, so it's just going to be a nice evening. We're hoping for good weather so you can kind of be inside, outside.
Yeah,
but
it's such a gorgeous place over
It
there.
is, especially because it's right on like the water right there.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But we're excited about that. We're the people we recognized, we based on the criteria, and they were all absolutely perfect. So
Wonderful.
Mhm.
That sounds like it'll be a fun time.
yeah. And then transitioning out of under 50, we're moving into our 50 over 50 for the back half of this year.
And that party won't be at Saltwater. It'll probably be at one like the Clipper home or
no, we're gonna do it at the Westerly Yacht Club, and that's gonna be in December. So it's gonna be a holiday-esque party. But our nomination form is going to be released in the next few weeks. And it's going to be kind of the same concept, please nominate anyone that you feel over the age of 50 is a business leader, a community leader, has made some kind of impact on this community, and recognize them for this achievement.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. What else?
I don't know. Don't ask me what else. That's why you're here.
That same night, July 22nd, we have our first Stonington Sunset movie. We host a free movie series, even though this year is just 2 movies.
They're always family movies.
They are.
Because they're outside, right? They're
Yeah.
right in the heart of Stonington.
In the
by
borough.
the church.
Mm-hmm. They're right outside the Stonington Free Library on Wadawinek Square. Is the technical name for it. And like I said, that's July 22nd. It starts at 8:30. It's completely free. It's open to anyone, not just kids. I try and pick movies that I told Ben this last week. I was like, I like a movie that I want to watch, and then I pick a movie that I know like families are going to want to enjoy. So the first movie is Moana 2. And we just invite anyone to bring beach chairs, blankets, snacks, whatever you'd like. Bug spray, for sure.
Yeah.
Gets buggy down there. And, it's just a free movie. It's a nice thing to do on a night out.
It sure is.
Mhm.
Nice summer activity with the family. So Moana 2 is the first one. What's the second one?
I think it's Sonic, one of the Sonic movies.
So which was the one that you wanted to see?
Moana. 2. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I've already seen it, but I knew like the newer movies tend to get more people to come in. Like people love the classics, but
Sure.
you have places like the Musqueam Drive-In that has got a packed lineup, and you could totally go see any of those movies there. We always recommend
They just show Jaws and Grease over and over and over, and they do very well.
Yeah, I mean they
all the time.
have like Wicked, I think was in May. They I mean Dirty Dancing is always a
Yes.
classic. I think that's there this weekend, if not next weekend. But I love going to the drive-in. I think it's so fun.
Well, they're great beach movies.
Yeah.
Too,
Oh yeah,
because
it's
you don't have
perfect.
to think too much.
No, like after a day in the sun, you can just kind of like decompress, enjoy
Yep.
the chill, enjoy that salt air. So, but yeah, like I said, this is July 22nd. It's at 8:30. We try and do it right as the sun sets. So, because we have a giant projector screen, so you're not gonna be able to see it if it's at like 7. But
Right.
once it's later, it's perfect.
Good.
And then same week. That week is
It's going to be a busy week.
That is going to be a busy week, but it's okay. Our annual River Glow event is that week. That is the 23rd annual River Glow.
Wow, have there been that many?
Yeah.
Oh my God. If you had asked me, I would have said, maybe 12 or 14.
23.
23.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so for those folks who don't live here or maybe are brand new in the community, explain what River Glow is. What happened?
Absolutely. So River Glow is kind of like Westerly Pawcatuck's take on water fire out of Providence. So we
Right.
have about 35 floating bonfires that we put on the Pawcatuck River.
Which
This
is
year,
right over
which
there.
is right over there. And you can see it on both sides because we put some on the other side of the river, and then most go on the side where River Bar is in Donahue Park, which is behind CC O'Brien's. And there's like a whole little festival going on in Donahue Park. So we've got, like fire juggling.
I was going to say you have a fire eater. I remember that.
We have a fire juggler. He does some circus tricks as well. We have a band that performs on our main stage. It's Alter Ego. They're a really fun party band. They definitely keep the energy up and moving. There's steel drumming. There's belly dancing. So that's Donahue Park.
You did say belly dancing, right?
Yeah, like a belly dancer.
It sounded like you said ballet dancing.
No, like a ballet, a belly
not
dancer.
Work.
Yeah. No. She's great. She's come the last couple of years. And so that's like in Donahue Park. And then you kind of move out of that. And then if you're on the bridge, we've got in the Veterans Park on the Pawcatuck side and the Veterans Park on the Westerly side, 2 different musicians, 2 different energies. So the Pawcatuck side is Undercover Cameo. I don't know if you're familiar with them.
No.
It's Lucas Neal and Olivia Charlotte.
Oh, I know
It's
Lucas
their
Neal.
like duo.
Yes.
So it's, a little more mellow, a little more folksy, very calm. And then on the other side is Greg Sherrod.
Oh, yeah.
Who is, blues and soul and all kinds
very
of.
popular here.
Yes. So that's happening there. And then we have a new addition to this year for the 100th anniversary in Wilcox Park this year. If you head over by the pond, we are doing what I like to call like the Serene River Glow. So we have these floating LED globes or orbs, whatever you want to call them. They're going to be put on the pond in Wilcox Park. And then Zen Zone is doing a sound bath. So it's going to be very calm.
That's Patrick, right?
Relaxed.
Patrick Lynch.
Zen Zone is
Oh, I thought you said okay. I'm thinking wireless.
Oh,
zone.
no. Zen Zone is Monica Marquettos.
Okay.
They're in the old WBLQ studio down below. And it's all like gongs and different
sound bath.
Yeah, sound bath, I guess is how you describe it. So that's happening at the same time that River Glow is happening over here in the park. They're just like joining it even more.
And in the meantime, in between those two, you've got all these businesses who are very happy to stay open and take your money and show you what they have, and great restaurants.
Exactly.
I mean, it really helps downtown quite a bit.
Yeah, we have that. And then we also put out like little luminaria. So it's going to be like a trail to kind of tell you where to go. But we're excited about that. That was something we got through a grant this year. So
good. And this starts when? I know they can't light the braziers till it starts to get dark, but
we light them early.
When does everything start as far as the activities?
Yeah, the event,
the music
traditionally starts 7 to 10. So that's when I would recommend coming. The bonfires, we actually do start lighting around like 6 because it takes so long.
Yeah.
And there's so many of them. And to get them like fully ablaze by nighttime, it's easier to start it earlier than later. I have a really awesome chair to that event. Rudy Hauser III is the person that manages that. So I always tell him, I'm like, I'm on land. I don't know what's happening on the river.
He's always in the boat with Maria.
Yeah.
And they have these torches, acetylene torches. And I watch them and I think, oh my God, this is so dangerous. But they make it look beautiful.
There's a really cool picture of Maria. I don't know if it was this year or last year, where she's like dousing it with like lighter fluid. And she obviously doesn't get set on fire, but the picture literally like looks like she's like up, like just in flames. But it's like a very neat picture. And it really does show like what they're out there doing, because this is a completely volunteer-led event. You know, we can't pull this off without our team of volunteers.
Right.
It's super labor intensive. You know, we're out there starting at like 8 in the morning and we don't finish until about 1.
Wow.
So it's a long day.
People don't realize that.
Yeah.
You know, they just come, they have dinner, they watch for a while, they listen to music, they go home, and they don't realize what goes into all
so
that.
much of that. And it's like, it is one of those events where you're like, oh, like maybe they start set up around like 3 or 4. And it's like, no, we're there at like 8 in the morning.
Wow.
You know, it is crazy. We love it. Our
And
team loves it.
Give the date again. I know you said the same week, but give the date.
Yeah.
So it's the end of
that's
July.
Saturday, July 26th. So it's a week earlier this year. We had to move it up because our 100th anniversary party is the week after, which I'll get into in a few minutes. And in case it rains, which it's not going to because it was kind of bad weather last year, so I'm hoping for an opposite. The rain date is Sunday, July 27th. So still 7 to 10 p.m., but we'll just shift to the next
So
day.
it's either going to be Saturday or Sunday, but it'll be the last weekend in July.
Yep. Okay. So, which is kind of nice because this year we're not competing with the seafood festival. Normally that's always the same weekend. So I'm kind of curious to see what that does from a like attendee standpoint, if there's going to be more people here, or if being the same weekend of the seafood festival, people go to that during the day and then come back here at night.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
The last 2 years, I was at the seafood festival, and then I came here.
Yeah. So I'm curious to see how that works out. But yeah, always hoping for nice weather. It is one of those days that you're like, God, I don't want it to be hot, but it's always peak summer. So if it happens, it happens. Last year,
the seafood festival, it's always got hot.
Yeah.
It is always.
So,
and it's that wide open space.
I've never been. I might go this year because I can now.
I mean, there's every kind of seafood you could ever want in your life. And if you don't like seafood at all, they have everything else. I mean, from Chinese food to hamburgers to hot dogs to, I'm trying to think. They have so many different kinds
like
of
random fried foods.
Oh, yes. I mean, you can get fried Oreos and that
not for you.
Not fried. No, I mean fried should be fried clams, French fries, not Oreos. But
got it. Yeah,
but there are a lot of people that like it because they have that at the Washington County Fair as well. So you never know.
The Charlestown Chamber does a really great job with the seafood festival.
Oh, they do,
because that's completely their territory. So I might go this year. I'm kind of excited.
Yeah, it is. And they have a lot of stuff going on, and they bring in some terrific bands.
Yes, I have seen their lineup the last couple of years. So, but yeah, like I said, that for Riverglow, that's Saturday, July 26th.
Well, you're entitled to go as a spectator somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah,
this year I'll be able to. I'll be able to go.
It.
Yeah, Saturday, July 26th for Riverglow, Donahue Park, Wilcox Park, downtown Westerly, Pawcatuck. I told someone the other day, I was like, if you want a reservation to any of the restaurants on the river, I would do that now. Like, do that today because it's going to be gone soon.
Especially the new, what's the name now? Is it
River Bar?
River Bar.
Yeah, that's literally the ideal place to be.
That was
for that event.
Yeah, because you always see them out on the deck there. And yeah, you would want to make the reservation now.
I would do that now. It's going to go quick.
Yeah, it will, because they only have so many spaces.
Yeah, and I mean, I would assume it's a night where you like would make the reservation and then just kind of like hang out at your table. So yeah, definitely.
And just keep ordering,
yeah,
which is what they want you to do.
Exactly.
They don't want you to just have a hamburger and a drink and leave.
Well, we kind of do. I mean, the grill is makes some money for us, but yes, prioritize the businesses down here. But if you're still hungry afterwards, come find us.
Yeah.
We serve until 10. So, but yeah, that's Riverglow. I'm excited. I'm anticipating it already, but it's going to be a good year. So,
hopefully good weather.
Yes. Last year it got rained out a little bit. It got rained out towards the last hour.
Well, that's not bad. I mean, if you've got to be rained out, 1 hour isn't having the whole event.
Yeah. I mean, our band didn't end up coming because they had so much sound equipment that they're like, we don't want to set it all up. And then if it rains, it rains. It was a little nerve wracking because it was a thunderstorm as well, to be on the river, pulling them out during a thunderstorm in a metal boat. Ooh. I remember right before we called the event, I was I actually got to go on the river this year. That's never happened before. I was like, I'm making it a priority. I want to like actually like go drive through the bonfires. So I'm on the boat, Rudy Hauser's behind me, and we just like look in the distance and you just see like lightning. And I was like, oh, I'm getting back and go.
Yeah, that's scary.
I'm out. I'm done. I
Yeah.
want to get out of the boat now. But I mean, everyone was fine. Thank God. Knock on wood.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
And you're here to tell about it.
Exactly. And I'm here for another one. So yeah, but we're looking forward to it.
Okay, so that takes us now to the 100th anniversary party. 100 years
100
of the
years.
chamber.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we've gone through a couple different things already this year that were 100 based. Obviously, our 50 under and 50 over was a 100th anniversary event. We did trash and fashion.
That was a wonderful night.
That was a really good night. Yeah, I agree.
had never gone in the past, and I didn't know what to expect, and I thought it was fantastic.
Thank you.
And what was so good was I looked around the United at the people, and it was, the age group was so widespread. It wasn't just teeny boppers or people in their 20s. I was sitting with a man who brought his mother, and she told me she was 80 something.
Oh
and
my gosh.
She was having a great time.
Yeah, I agree with you.
there
There's
were
a
kids
very
and-
wide demographic to that event.
And they loved it. Everybody loved it.
Yeah, we like, I obviously had never planned that event because it was on hiatus for so long. And so like I was kind of nervous like getting people to participate. That's why like anytime I saw anyone, I was like, would you like to do it? That's why I had asked DJ Gadget to do it as well. So getting the models was a little nerve-wracking just for me.
Loved it.
Oh, she did. She was fantastic. Getting the models for me like was not the most stressful part, but I definitely wanted to make sure, it's a full show. You want to make sure people feel like their ticket is worth it.
Yep.
So like I'd even gotten my best friend I went to college with, who was a fashion design student. She came down from Leominster, Mass, modeled her garment and everything. So we've said like maybe we'll bring it back next year. I feel pretty confident we're going to do it again next year. So if anyone's interested in participating, let me know. You can reach me at events@oceanchamber.org. But yeah, so yeah, but now we're like halfway through the 100th anniversary. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's going that fast.
It is. Well, July 1 is Tuesday.
Yeah.
Less than a week away. So
It is.
That is scary.
It is scary. I don't even know how we've gotten here.
Ben, are we up for taking a break now?
I'm flattered by the compliment of being called Ben, but yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's a compliment. It's a compliment for sure.
Well, if he's everywhere, I'll call him Andrew then.
Wait a second.
Andrew, are we up for taking a break?
Absolutely.
Okay, this is A Man About Town. We're with Grace Lund, who is not only the events director, but the office manager of your Ocean Community Chamber. And joining Maria and Lisa, it's just event after event, 12 months of so much fun for the people that live here. We're going to come back and talk about the all-important 100th celebration. We are now going to our celebration of local business, and we will be back shortly.
Experience local excellence with Roof Right Roofing in Charlestown, Rhode Island. With over 40 years of unmatched expertise, Roof Right specializes in architectural shingles and holds the prestigious title of GAF Master Elite Installers. Known for their commitment to the community and support for local initiatives, Roof Right is your trusted partner for all of your home's roofing needs. Call today for a free estimate at 401-212-4140.
Hi, this is Dan from Lathrop Insurance. In this challenging insurance environment, Lathrop Insurance can be your beacon in the storm to help you find the coverage you need at the right price. Now, more than ever, you need a partner in the insurance industry that can work with multiple carriers to make sure you have the right coverage at the right price. Lathrop Insurance carries home, auto, and business insurance and can be reached at 401-596-2525. We've been supporting the local community since 1939, and we look forward to working with you.
What's going on, everybody? It's Patrick down here at the Wireless Zone at Dunn's Corners at 224 Post Road, and everybody down here is getting the brand new iPhone 16. We have it here in stock. The best part is, right now, if you trade in your old phone, you get it for free. We got deals all weekend, awesome savings. Come on down and see us, 224 Post Road, Dunn's Corners, Verizon Wireless Zone. We'll see you soon.
D&V Mechanical specializes in the installation, maintenance, and servicing of Mitsubishi ductless mini-split heat pump systems. We are certified by Mitsubishi as Diamond Elite contractors and factory trained and up to date on the proper procedure of the installation and service of Mitsubishi ductless heating and air conditioning ductless heat pumps. We assist with the paperwork to reduce much of the stress-related documentation required to get the state rebates and federal tax incentives. We are not a jack-of-all-trades, master-of-nothing company. We are masters of ductless heat pumps. It's what we do, and it's what we know. D&V Mechanical specializes in the installation, maintenance, and servicing of Mitsubishi ductless mini-split heat pump systems. We are certified by Mitsubishi as Diamond Elite contractors and factory trained and up to date on the proper procedure of the installation and service of Mitsubishi ductless heating and air conditioning ductless heat pumps. We assist with the paperwork to reduce much of the stress-related documentation required to get the state rebates and federal tax incentives. We are not a jack-of-all-trades, master-of-nothing company. We are masters of ductless heat pumps. It's what we do, and it's what we know.
Hey, Unicorn fans, ready to rep your Norwich Unicorns? Dive into the point-of-sale team store. From hats and jerseys to gear that covers every base, show your Unicorn spirit and style. From ballpark essentials to unique souvenirs, there's something for every fan in the pod. Stop by during any home game or shop anytime at cunicorns.milbstore.com. That's cunicorns.milbstore.com. The point-of-sale team store has you covered all season long.
Let's all go to the beach. I want to go to the beach. Cold weather sucks, let's get some relief. I'm telling you it's well within our reach. Take me to the beach today.
And we're back with a picture. Thank you, Andrew, not Ben. Thank you, Andrew. We're back with Grace Lund from the Ocean Community Chamber. And there's something really big that's going to happen in Watch Hill, and it's not Taylor Swift. Although it'd be cool if
It'd
they
be
could.
fun
If she could come and entertain.
Right?
Or she doesn't even have to entertain. She
She
likes
just
to
show
party.
up. We'd support it.
Okay.
But on August 3rd, which is a Sunday, we are hosting what has now been coined the Party of the Century. That is our official name because for a while it was just like the anniversary party. It was the anniversary gala.
But
now
it is the century.
But it is the Party of the Century. And that is just our 100th anniversary celebration. So it's just a giant party. It's happening in Watch Hill on the Green, which is like right across from Lilly Pulitzer, and under a huge tent. And we're just celebrating the chamber. And
Are they going to limit the amount of people? Because it could get really, I mean, it's not that big an area.
Right.
I mean, it's a good sized area. And
I think the capacity, I don't know the exact number. The capacity of the tent was larger than we were expecting.
Okay.
So I don't think we'll actually sell out to capacity. But I know right now, I don't think we have a cap on tickets, but we just started selling. So it's just kind of going to be based on if we can keep selling, then we're going to. But I think they also want to make sure that it's like approved by the fire district. You know,
That's
you don't want
right.
it to be a safety hazard. But tickets are going to start at $125. That's just the base price. And that comes with that gets you access to food. So we're not doing a formal dinner like other galas have been.
Oh, that's so smart. Somebody finally got the message.
Yeah, we're just going to it's going to be more like stations and like a cocktail energy. So we have hors d'oeuvres being provided by Watch Hill Catering.
And they're so good.
They're so good. And then we also have a bunch of contributions from local businesses and restaurants. So Westerly Packing is donating meatballs. Casa della Luce is donating arancinis. And Gray Sail Brewing and South County Distillers is donating beer and canned cocktails, which are delicious. They just released their blueberry vodka lemonade this summer. I cannot recommend it enough.
Blueberry vodka lemonade. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The strawberry one is probably still their best one, but the blueberry is a close second. And so we have Gray Sail. Watch Hill Oysters is donating 400 oysters.
I will be there.
Yeah, me too. I'll be there with you.
I am a raw oyster lover.
Too.
Yes.
Yes. Anywhere that has a bucket shot.
400. Okay, so that's 200 for you, 200 for me.
Yeah.
And everybody else can just go.
They can just go find something else.
They can get the arancini.
Yeah, exactly. And then Sift Bake Shop is donating, I think it's like a strawberry rhubarb tart, maybe, as of now.
I don't know. Whatever they donate will be wonderful.
Yeah, and then Vesta Bakery is also donating some desserts for us. So we obviously are going to supplement with Watch Hill Catering, but we've got a good sampling of the area.
You sure do.
So we're very excited. There's going to be live music. The band is Blurred Vision. I haven't seen them perform, but they're like a 7 or 8 piece band.
Ooh.
And they came highly recommended to us. So we are excited about them.
Party band.
Yeah, party band, exactly. Good. And like I said, so tickets are $125, but we also have an optional $50 upgrade, and it kind of gets you like a swag bag situation. Mm-hmm. So there's going to be a special edition espresso martini from South County Distillers. So that's like Gray Sail's espresso martini, right, and to go. So it's going to be like one of the little bottled ones. And then also you get a custom 100th anniversary chamber sweatshirt. So if you wanted to upgrade, you can. And that's online at oceanchamber.org.
So tickets are available now online.
Yep. Tickets are available and sponsorships are available. So we've got a couple different levels. Even though we're not doing a dinner, there's still a table sponsorship. I think we have 3 so far, and we're looking for 3 more. So if any businesses out there want to sponsor this event, you can contact us at the chamber, either calling 401-596-7761, or you can email any of the staff. So info@oceanchamber.org is probably the best one.
Okay.
And then I found this out today, which I'm very excited about. When you walk in, we are going to have a 6-foot-tall chamber logo made out of wood. And that's being made by Dan Morantz. So as you walk in,
he's so good.
He is. He does a wooden buoy for us every year. And every year I'm even more impressed by his skill.
I was just talking about him 2 nights ago to a friend on the Cape. And I said, you cannot believe the tables this guy makes. Mm-hmm. And he makes it out of stuff he finds in the woods. And
yeah,
he's really talented.
Yeah, he always, when he drops off his buoy, shows me his progress pictures. And I'm like, I don't know how you got from here to there, but it's impressive every year.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. He's very, very good.
Yeah. So we're excited.
So he's going to do a wooden logo.
Yes.
And then is that going to be kept forever at the chamber, or is that going to be auctioned off for big bucks?
No, so it's going to be kept at the chamber. And what's kind of neat about it is as people come in, they are going to get to sign it. And then it's going to be, so they're going to get to sign it and be like a piece of the 100th anniversary. And each individual piece is going to make like a puzzle. So the whole thing is going to be made like a puzzle piece, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like each piece is going to fit into this giant logo.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you don't get to take the puzzle piece home.
No, it's gonna be put together, and then it will be either displayed at the chamber or possibly the new building. We're still up in the air on what's going on over there. I do have some updates on that. We have
Every time I drive by, though, I see the chamber
chamber
vehicle
van is there. It's
Yes.
marking its territory,
which is good.
Yeah.
It really is. It's a way of saying, hey, if you didn't read it in the paper and you haven't heard, we're coming.
Yeah, or if you're not sure where the building is, it's right here. So I do have some updates on that. We officially have a new roof that was provided completely
by Pawcatuck, right?
Yep, by Pawcatuck
Yeah.
Roofing, very generously. We so appreciate that.
That is very generous.
Yeah.
Because roofs are not cheap.
No, they are not. And, with all the rain that we've had, it was crucial that we just got that up as quickly as possible. So now it's dry.
Great.
And we had all the poison ivy and poison sumac removed this week. So you don't have to worry about any of that.
I don't, but I know Lisa
Yeah,
had it a couple
I
of
know.
weeks ago. And that's funny because I never asked her, oh, how did you get this? I didn't think she was camping in the woods,
Mhm.
but I know she had poison ivy. or
Yeah,
oak
I
or
think that
whatever
was
she
from her yard, but yeah, and
Oh.
she definitely she's good now. And then also with the new building, we are getting the permits for the electricity, which we're hoping should be able to be installed by the end of July, and then we're starting on plumbing.
I was going to say that's a biggie.
Yes, that
if
because
you're
there's
gonna work
none in there.
You want to be able to go to the bathroom, wash your hands.
There's no plumbing anywhere. Yeah. But right now, the only thing that is living there is our mini golf course. So after Sunday Fun Day this 2 weeks ago, we all packed up and we drove, not even a half mile down the road, dropped off the mini golf, and then continued on to the chamber with all the stuff that we use more regularly. So
That's nice. It's going to be for you guys that work at the chamber,
Mhm.
because we don't have any idea. We show up and the stuff shows up.
Yeah.
Whether it's ducks, whether it's, whatever.
Mhm.
But you have so much stuff.
Yes.
And, I mean, you've got buoys and ducks
And now nutcrackers, and the ducks are going to be moving to the new building as well. We're trying to move stuff that we don't use often, so mini golf,
And is
ducks.
it right now dry and safe enough to move stuff and not worry about
Absolutely.
Okay, that's good.
Like I said, the mini golf is there, and slowly over time we'll start moving some stuff around, dropping it off, and seeing what that building becomes. Yeah. Because there's still a lot of opportunity for what we can do with the space, but it needs to have plumbing.
Yeah.
It needs to have electrical. It needs a set of staircase inside because you can't get to the upstairs from inside. You have to go out and around upstairs.
Oh.
Right now, if you look up, there's just
You
a
also
hole.
have to make it accessible.
Yep. There's just a hole in the ceiling right now. But I got to see it for the first time the other day when we dropped off the mini golf. I hadn't been over there yet.
How big is it in square footage? Do you know?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Is it large? Does it appear to be large?
Yeah.
Like it's going to be a goodly amount of space?
Yeah, for sure.
Are there going to be offices there? Like, would you or Maria possibly be there? Or is it just going to be for stuff?
As of right now, I think we're just predominantly focusing on storage. There's still some ideas of what we could do with the space upstairs, but we, as of now, are just getting all the larger stuff out of the basement.
Good.
I mean, we purged a lot of stuff last summer, so there's not nearly as much that probably could have moved over there, but we also have a lot of stuff outside right now. All of our Starry Light sculptures live outside. We have those 3 container units in the back.
Oh, yeah.
That we would like to dump some of that stuff out, get that off the property so it doesn't look like it does. Thankfully, the Washington Trust Company came in May and painted our blue container green. So now they're all cohesively the same, which is nice. And we so appreciate them for doing that. It was their day of care and they chose us. So we were very grateful. But our River Glow bonfires live in there. All the lobster traps live in there. All the other Starry Light stuff is in there.
Lobster traps are there? About 400?
460, 470.
It just gets bigger every year, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, here we are. It was 96 degrees when I parked my car over there, and we're talking about lobster trap
traps,
trees.
yeah.
And Lisa freezing to death as she's climbing up this
Mhm.
tree. Yeah, but it'll come fast.
It will. I mean, next week, July 1st, we start posting our buoys. on Facebook. So I think we've got maybe 80-ish, 80, 90, 100, somewhere in that range already done and completed.
When you say you're going to post them on Facebook, in other words, you're taking photographs, images of them, and then uploading them, and so people can see what's been done or is done.
Exactly. So we have two different categories. So we have our artist buoys, which those are professional artists in the Rhode Island, Connecticut area who paint these buoys and donate them to the project. So they don't make any money off of them. They're just donations, to be part of this insane project that we host down here. And then we also have sponsors. So those are businesses, community members. Eventually we'll do the kids buoys for the Stonington families. And those they get to keep when the tree comes down versus our artist buoys, which go to auction.
Right.
And as they've come in, we photograph both sides so you can see what each side of the buoy looks like. And then we post them twice a day. So in the morning, it's on our Stonington Lobster Trap Tree Facebook page. So in the morning at 10 a.m., we post the artist buoys. And so that's a picture of the buoy front and back, the picture of the artist, and then just some samples of that artist's work. So if you see a buoy and you're like, oh, I really like
that's
that.
Nice that you do that for them.
Yeah, well, we're so appreciative that they've donated their time to doing this. So if you see an art, like a buoy that you really like and you like that art style, you can kind of like reach out to the artist directly. We'll link their websites, link their Instagrams, their Facebook pages, just as an opportunity to promote themselves as well. And then
now the Lobster Trap Tree, in addition to having their Facebook page, don't they also have their own website?
We do. So that's lobstertraptree.com, I think.
Okay. I wasn't saying it to put you on the spot.
I think it's lobstertraptree.com. It's been a minute. But we will post all the buoys up there as well. That typically gets done in November, right before the tree goes up. Because, at this point, we're still collecting buoys, and buoys are still being sent out to different artists.
I just had a thought. You're talking about this, and I'm nodding because I was here when it started. I know what you're talking about. But there may be people that are watching us that have no idea what a lobster trap tree is or the buoys or what we're talking about. Maybe you can give just a short explanation of why this is... Well, this made worldwide news when it started.
Yeah, so we at the Ocean Community Chamber of Commerce create the Stonington Lobster Trap Tree, which is a Christmas tree made entirely out of lobster traps. Like I'd mentioned, there's like 460 of them, and they're up 30 feet high, and we decorate them with these hand-painted buoys. So,
and it's in Stonington.
In Stonington, in the borough. I think it's 1 High Street is like technically the address.
You really can't miss it once you get there.
No, once you see it, I mean, it's like this giant glowing, tree. But every buoy that is put on the tree is completely original, 100% hand painted. And, it's a really neat project to see come from start to finish. Yeah. And, eventually now they're kind of just rolling into each other. It's my reminder to move. The project just kind of rolls into each other year after year. So you're once you finish one, you're really starting up the next one. And so we're about halfway now. So now we start posting them on Facebook, drives a little bit of promotion to it, reminds people, holidays are on their way. Get ready.
Scary the way
it
the
is
year
scary.
Goes. I was telling someone, I said, Tuesday is July 1st.
I don't know where June went.
And I don't know where March went or February. I can remember New Year's Eve, what I was doing New Year's Eve. And that seems like it was a couple months ago.
Yeah. I feel like I've lived
July.
6 lives. This a different life every month. It's moving so fast.
And you know what? It's interesting because usually older people will say, oh, it's going so fast. But this year, everybody's saying
it is.
20-year-olds are saying, where's the time going? It went too fast. I can't believe I don't know what it is about this year. But
no,
wow.
I don't either. I don't know what happened or why. I don't know how we got to the end of June.
I'm not really bemoaning a shorter feeling winter, though. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I will
Winter
agree
went
with
by
you.
so fast this year, which was actually really nice.
Yeah, we only had to plow once.
Yeah.
And that is just a joy and a gift.
I don't know. We almost made up for it with all the rain in June.
Yeah. That was a lot of rain, but you don't have to shovel rain.
No, that's very
It
true.
ruins a lot of stuff and you get sick of it, but you don't have to
You don't have
shovel
to shovel.
it.
That's so true.
So, yeah, Andrew's right.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, spring flew by. I mean, I don't know if we're so busy that it's just one of those things where it's like so much is going on, you really don't notice how fast time is
Well,
moving.
this is just such a this chamber is so amazing for this area. I was going to say for this town, but it serves way more than Westerly.
Mhm.
It really does. There are people that come from all over for the events that you put on. And when people realize, and I don't think too many do, there's only 3 people in that office.
Yeah.
It's you, it's Lisa, the executive director, and it's Maria, who's the membership chair, and whatever else other titles they give her.
Yeah.
Because everybody does everything. You really do.
Yeah,
And
I
it's
mean,
hands-on.
we are as hands-on as you could probably be for a chamber. You know, it's not a typical chamber, which I
No, it's not.
didn't learn until, you know, within the last 2 years, just because I had no boundary of like what a typical chamber does. So then sometimes I'll say things and Lisa's like, well, they have probably like a staff of like 25. I'm like, that's a thing? Like there are chambers with that many people?
Yeah.
But
and a lot of them don't do very much.
And they don't, they're more business oriented. You know, they're a little more professional development, career development oriented. We'd like to think we're very community centered.
You are, but you still do things for business, like
Mhm.
with is it Dorigo?
Yep,
Is that their
the
name?
Dorigo courses,
Yeah.
all of our networking.
Yes.
We've had some other professional development. I got
Well, you did the thing with the tips class.
Yep, I was just gonna say the
for
serve safe courses.
servers and
Yeah.
bartenders
Mhm.
and free if they're chamber members.
Yeah, I got to take that course. I'm now tip certified.
Good.
But yeah, there's been a lot of benefits, and you know, we continue to hope that we're doing enough for the community, and if there's more,
And hopefully that the community appreciates you. Anytime I'm talking to Lisa, I will say to her, I cannot believe that there are businesses in this town who benefit from all this stuff and yet haven't paid for a membership. And it's not an expensive membership at all.
it's not. You know, we want to support local. We want to support the local businesses. We'd love for them to join and see that and like kind of get access to the full scope of our benefits because they really only get a small bit of it.
Well, they get the runoff, kind of. Yeah.
And if that works for them, that's amazing. Obviously, like we'd love the opportunity to show you really like what we can do for your business. But like you said, dues aren't super expensive. I think we're still the lowest in the area. But yeah, if you have any questions, like our door is always open. We're open now Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and Saturday and Sunday, 10 to 2.
Those are summer hours.
Yes, those are our summer hours. And so we have 2 women that are working our receptionist desk on the weekends. They're super nice. They'd probably love to say hello, learn some more.
Do you find a lot of tourists are stopping now that people are starting to come in here in
Yes.
droves?
Yeah.
They're coming in for brochures or help or to
Yep.
use the restrooms or whatever.
Yeah, so we have our 24-hour restroom outside. And we have our 24-hour like breezeway, like our information center outdoors. So
And you still have your sand sculpture.
and we
out
do
there,
still have our sand
which is
sculpture.
amazing.
It looks so nice this year. But yeah, so like a lot of times they'll just stay outside, do the stuff over there. But they do come in to talk. We had a family today from Virginia. And that was a family that was actually moving back to the area. So they're like asking us questions about that.
Oh, they must be asking lots of questions.
Yeah, they came to our maps and
I know the answer to this, but I want to hear you say it because I think people should know. When somebody comes from out of town, whether they're a day trip or they're here for the weekend or whatever, and they come into the chamber and say, where's the best place to get a lobster roll? Or where's the best place to go get such and such? What answers do you give or answer?
It rotates. We try and promote all of our members, so I can't say like there's a best one.
Good.
There are some great restaurants down by Misquamicut, but also a lot of the restaurants around here have an amazing lobster roll. I can't say I've had one in a while. I don't typically gravitate towards them. But I always try and promote the
But it could be
businesses.
anything, you know,
Right.
like what's the best seafood restaurant? And I know you're not supposed to say.
Well, I always
and
ask,
again,
I'm like,
even if you could say it, it's opinion.
right.
What you say, what Maria
It's
says,
gonna be
what
different.
Lisa says would be
Yeah.
different.
I always try and gauge when they're like, what's the best seafood? I'm like, do you want fried seafood? Do you want not fried seafood?
Right.
Do you want one like Italian kind of like? There's all the business, like all the restaurants in the area are all so individualized.
And everybody's got seafood. really.
I say that I'm like,
Yeah.
you're gonna find seafood at any restaurant you go to. It's just a matter of which one you're looking for.
Yep.
So
Good lady.
thank you. I've been trained well.
Yes, you have.
It's that St. Pius education.
Yeah.
Thank you, Grace Lund. You are welcome here anytime.
Thank you.
Next week, as we have been saying, it will be July.
Crazy.
And the first Wednesday of the month means those folks from across the street have to make a big trip. They have to cross the street.
Such a far commute.
So the library twins, as we call them, Bridget Hopkins and Bill Lancelota, and they are collectively the executive director and the assistant executive director. They will be here because, as you probably have learned if you've watched them before, they don't just talk about books. In fact, they talk very little about books. It's mostly all the activities, all the things that are going on, not only in the library or in the rooms where they have lectures or the films, but out in the park. And there's something going, just like the chamber, 12 months a year. And we also have Detective Howie Mills from the Westerly Police Department. And now that we are in full bloom here, summer-wise, I am sure he's got a lot to tell you, to warn you about, to excite you with as well. And we'll have a salute to the 4th. If Andrew's here, we'll dress him in red, white, and blue and let him twirl a flag or something. We'll have a barbecue. If you're listening, Ben, he says he's always listening.
Well, next week I'll be down in sunny Fort Myers, so I will not be in.
You're going
it's gonna
to.
be hot.
This isn't hot enough here.
Yeah.
It's got to be about the same. I feel like every time we go to Florida, sometimes every time we go down there, there's a heat wave up here.
Yeah.
So it's like we dodge it. We didn't quite dodge it this time, but I don't know. It might somehow be cooler down there.
For
have,
your sake, I hope so.
I've got friends who live in Fort Myers, and I've been wanting to go. I wanted to go during spring training. I've always wanted to go and see a spring training baseball game. And the Red Sox play in Fort Myers, so I was hoping to get there this year, and I just didn't. But I saw some people last night. It was on, I think it was Channel 10's news. They were interviewing people about the heat like they do on every station.
Mm-hmm.
And these people were being interviewed, and the woman said, "We're from Florida. We came up here to get away from the heat."
Oh.
And she said, "Believe it or not, it's hotter here than what we left." Now, she didn't say where in Florida they're
Mhm.
from, but
Right.
Florida's pretty hot.
Yeah. This is the last day of it, though. Then we go back to
So they say.
cloudy.
They keep saying. Everybody, stay cool, stay hydrated, and all those things they're telling you are absolutely true. And please don't leave your kids or your animals in your car, even if it's just 5 minutes where you run in somewhere. Don't do that. Make sure there's air conditioning. Make sure you're safe and they're safe. And we will see you next week. Thank you again, producer Andre.
Second wrong name.
I've called you everything. I've called you
He's getting
Ben. I've
closer.
called you Andre. Yeah, you over there.
You're getting there.
Producer du jour. Thank you so much. Be well, everyone, and we'll see you in July.
Oh my gosh,